Good morning. Let's see who's coming into play today. Morning, Mary. Kelly's in as well. Let's see if there's a few more people coming to play. It is a Saturday morning though, so I'm not expecting a huge amount, but there's a few of you might have done Becca's class earlier and want a bit of tuition on foam roller and see what it's all about and how it all works. So as much as getting something out of using a foam roller in this session, it's more about education as well as anything else. So I'm going to go through a couple of the fundamentals. Basics are, why would you want to even use a foam roller? Well, main reason is rehabilitation. So you can rehabilitate the joints and the muscles so that you're going to prevent injury and they're going to last longer or you recover quicker. And that's the idea behind a foam roller. It's the same idea as getting a sports massage. Should we go to that? It's not particularly pleasurable. People always think sports massage is like, oh, that's really relaxing. No, it's not. They're getting deep into the muscle fibers to release the fibers. The fibers will get knotted and sometimes twisted as well, and they won't stretch. And the idea of moving these fibers is to elongate them so they can do their job again. And this is what we're looking to do with a foam roller. The other thing is education about your own body, because you might not realise that you've actually got tightness or a particular problem on one side of the body rather than the other side of the body, or both sides of the body, until you put it under pressure on a foam roller. You might not realise you've got lack of mobility until you start to stretch that muscle out as well. So again, it's about education. The questions always asked when someone first goes into foam roller is, what is the best roller for me? Well, it's a combination. So you get a flat roller, but you can get them where they're hard, or you can get them softer. I would probably say if you've got a lot of aches and pains, maybe start with a softer foam roller, but a medium one is your best bet to start. If you're foam rolling continuously, it's worth investing in a hard roller. This one is a flat roller, but it's actually very firm. Other type of roller you'll get is a grid style roller. The idea is that the flat panels represent the palms of the hands, the ridges represent fingers, if again going back to the idea of sports massage, or the fingertips going into the body parts. These ones hollow, the foam padding gives you a bit more support, sometimes a little bit kinder on the body as well. Next thing, you've got a rumble roller, so very different altogether. So now you're thinking of a knuckle or knuckles going into the body part to massage out the muscle. This one in particular, very good for doing the legs and the back. A lot of people won't even be able to start by using this foam roller, it's way too painful, but once you get used to it and you want to get that little bit deeper into the muscle groups, sometimes you can start level 1, level 2, and then level 3 on the same muscle group. Last but no means least, if you've got stubborn parts that you want to get into, you have got spiky ball. You can use a tennis ball. Hockey ball is really good, and a golf ball is a lot more coarse on the body, but again, very effective. The bigger the ball, it's easier to control, so when you've got a golf ball, it's quite hard to get it into the right place at the right time. Other things that you can do, rather than, I'm going to show you all the exercises on the ground, because you're going to be able to see the manipulation of my body to get into different positions. But all of these, if it's too hard to do on the ground, you can do it leaning up against the wall. So that's the advantage of having a foam roller. You can put a foam roller on the wall and rub your back up and down by bending your knees, bending your legs on the foam roller. Obviously a lot less pressure on the body, so that makes it much easier to roll to start with, especially if you've got very stiff parts. Quite often find traps and neck, you can't do it from the ground, so standing up or leaning in against the wall is the best way to go. But get the angle of your body, lean in towards a wall when you do your roll in, so you're leaning the weight towards the foam roller. Again, you can put as much pressure or as little pressure as you want into the moves. Right, I'm going to start with a softer roller. That's the best way to get into position. And we're concentrating on the back and the neck. I'm going to start at the lower back, work my way all the way up the back, and then we'll get into the neck. I'm also going to show you how to manipulate the spine as well as the muscles using the foam roller, which is maybe something you've never done. So the first part, sitting down, and then just place it into the lower back. And then from there, lie down, place your feet flat on the ground, lift your hips, and you'll place your hands on your knees to start with. And you're simply going to roll, which you've probably all done if you've ever used a foam roller before, lower back. But these are the bits you might not have done. So, think to yourself, you just come underneath the rib cage, that's as far as you go, and then go right into the glute. And that's where you're going to be rolling. Is it tight? Is it loose? Or is it just neutral? You don't feel much at all. Place both hands on one knee, roll again. It's going to go down the side where your hands are. You've now manipulated your body to go down one side of your erector spine. This is the main muscle that runs through the body. Change. Now, is it the same? Again, you can adjust your feet or adjust your position at any time. You will find that you might move forwards or backwards throughout the class. Now, I know I'm tighter on one side, but I didn't know that until I started foam rolling. So that is one of the major reasons why you want to do this. You can spend anywhere from 20 seconds to 20 minutes rolling on the same body part. If it's tight, you want to spend more time on it. If it's not tight, you can move on to the next muscle group, and this is what we're going to do. So we're going to move up into the thoracic part of the spine. So this time start at the bottom of the ribs. Place your hands in front of you in a diamond shape, lift the hips and roll from the rib cage to the bottom of the shoulder blades. The reason why your hands are up here is so that you can reveal the spine. If your hands are back, your shoulder blades will get in the way and you can't get into the muscles. So hands up, now you can get into the muscles and into the spine. Same as we did before, we're going to manipulate the body, and this is why it's quite good to have this hand position. So from here, get onto the rib cage, starting position, hands out to the side, roll again. So go underneath the shoulder blade. You should feel that you get all the way under now. You're hitting the major muscle groups through the scapula now. Just underneath though, and where the lat joins on to the back. Other side to go. So roll again. Again from the bottom of the ribs to the bottom of the shoulder blade, the scapula. Is it tight? Are there knots? If you've got a knot, just gently roll in that small spot where it is, forwards and backwards. Push your hands further forward to relieve or reveal the muscle. So you're stretching the muscle by pushing forward. Relax it down. We're going to go underneath the scapula now. We can do it with two hands to start, then we're going to go single-sided. Again, this is something you may or may not have done before. So, start at the ribs. This time, instead of the hands being here, we're going to be here in this wide position. Now when you roll, you can get a little bit higher. So go right underneath the shoulder blades, right over the shoulder blades, and you should hit the bottom of the neck and just slightly into the traps. Bring one hand up and lean that hand in now. You should feel you'll go one side, it'll be a lot deeper into the muscle group. Keep this hand in this position. If you find a knot, we can actually manipulate the muscle by pressing the hand above the head. I'll take this one out of the way, you can see you can manipulate the scapula from that position. Like that's right under my shoulder blade. Now I'm stretching that muscle out as I go. Other side to go. So again, that L shape, roll, I can feel myself, I'm a bit tighter on this side. Have I got any knots? Yeah, there's a couple of lumps in there. So now I'm going to stretch out. If you feel like your head and the neck needs support, you can just put your hand at the back of the neck. So we're working our way up. We've loosened off the muscles in the lower back, we've loosened off the mid-back, we've gone a little bit into the lats, so we're going to go deeper into the lats now. The way to do that is we need to lie on our side. This one, not as comfortable as some of the other positions you can be in, but you want to think of rolling this shoulder back. A lot of people just go straight into the lat and they're side on. So if you think in this position, so I'm side on, I'm going to roll this shoulder back. So now it is on the lat and not just under my armpit. You don't want it there to start with, it's too sore. So don't be square on, roll this shoulder back. So I've rolled the shoulder back, now I can roll. If you find it too much, keep your bottom leg on the ground, lift this knee and over the top. Now you can roll into the lat. You can place this hand down to take some of the body weight. Is it tight? It should be tight. Your back's a big muscle group, gets used a lot, especially if you're leaning forward a lot, you're always pulling back, so it might be tight. Have a go on the other side. Again, this is not a full stretch and workout, I'm showing you how to get into positions. So, this shoulder back, lie down, start to roll. Come forward a little bit, roll again. If it's tight, we can have some manipulation. So find a spot that's tight and think of it like a little side crunch. But you're stretching the lat over the foam roller. So two things we can do, move the foam roller over the muscle or move the muscle over the foam roller. And that way we get the same result, but sometimes you can get deeper into those muscle groups. So we've worked from lower back, the mid back underneath the rib cage, the scapula into here. We've now worked the lat into there. So these have all been done just a brief moment, but you can see how it works. So you can go back to this and check it out and do those exercises over and over again. We're going to work into the traps next. So, slight difference. We're going to go back to this hand position, but don't have your shoulders back. I want you to push everything forward. Look at my thoracic spine on that sticking out. That's where you want to be. Keep the head in that neutral position just now. So this is where we're going. So come underneath the shoulder blades to start. Hips up, hands up. Now push your hands behind your head and roll. So you can come all the way through the traps, all the way into the neck. Again, it's a big muscle group. All the time you're leaning forward with the head, they're switched on. So if you're looking down at a screen or down at a phone or down at your feet, that's where you're going to feel it. Watch my hand position, bend the elbow, lean the body in, lift my hips up high, lean into the traps. Again, this can be done against the wall if it's too heavy. It's the same position, but my feet would be on the floor. Change again, look at this elbow position, kick it out, lift that hand high, lift the hips high, roll through the traps. You can move the head position. If you feel like you've not got space, move the head. Change the position. Relax it down. Was it tight? Was it uber tight? Was it really tight? Was it not anything in particular? If it's not anything in particular, that's a good thing because it's not too tight. And there might be some pain. If there's pain in there, if there's clicks, pops, tweaks, don't panic. There's air gaps, there's muscle tension, there's fibres that stick together, they move, they will make noises, clicks, pops, cracks of the bone as well, even the neck, the spine itself, the vertebrae, there's air gaps, sometimes they get stuck, bang, twist, pop, click, click your fingers, click your knees, it's the same thing throughout the spine as well, and I can show you how to manipulate those. We go a little bit more into the neck this time. We're only going down the back of the neck and we're going into the back or the base of the skull. Same idea. This time, to start with, I want you to lie down and place the foam roller onto your neck. So I'm on the traps and I'm on my neck just now, and I'm going to just put some weight on. I'm just lifting my hips off the ground. It's just a small space. From there, I'm going to look to the left and look to the right. And now, instead of rolling on my neck, I'm moving the muscles over the roller. See if you can move down a little bit more to the base of the skull. Go again. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can feel my left side a lot tighter than my right side. I can hardly get over here, whereas I can get all the way over on the right hand side. So I must be really overworking that side. If it's too much, you can drop the hips and still work that neck muscle. I can get more into it now by dropping the hips. I'm going to lift the hips, more weight goes through and in. Relax. You're still with me? I hope so. Arms forward, and we're going to do this shoulder forward position. That's the key. If the shoulders are back, you're not going to get into position. You might be putting your arms up, but you're not projecting your shoulders forward. I want this curved. I want this big curve through the back and the shoulders and into the neck. This time I'm going to hold the back of the neck into position. Start on the shoulder blades. From there, I'm going to tuck my elbows in together. I'm holding the top of the head and the back of the head. I'm pulling it in towards my body. I'm going to roll in until I'm on the base of my neck now. Tuck it all in, deep breath in, breathe out, roll back, push through the hips. Tuck that chin right in. We're going to go again, same idea. So, elbows in, tuck it in, pull it all in so you're here. Everything tucked in. As you roll, expose the back and the neck for that position. Again, start off underneath the shoulder blades. Hands in, elbows in, lift the hips, roll to the base of your neck, now tuck everything in. Deep breath in, lift the hips, push back, breathe out. Almost like a crunch. When you come in, suck it in, roll through the spine. We're going to get right into the neck and the traps now. So this is about manipulation. The foam roller might not be square on, it might be at a slight angle now. I'm going to manipulate my body rather than the roller. So what I'm doing is, once I've got the roller on my shoulder blades, watch my hips. See how I'm turning them out? So they're lifted. I'm going into this tuck position and I'm going to start rolling. So look at my hip position. Hips are here, not here. I'm pushing my bum out to the side. Tuck it all in and roll. Roll through the neck and roll through the traps. So you should feel from the almost underneath the shoulder blade, I'm going right up to the bottom of my ear, all the way through to the bottom of the shoulder blade. Relax. We're going to go other side. Again, if you get out of position, stop, reset, get back in. If you need to move your feet, stop, move your feet. If you need to adjust your hips, if you need to put less weight on, more weight on, adjust it to suit. You can put hand down, takes pressure off of some of the maneuvers as well, or you can just slide your bum over the ground, and that way you're going to take a little bit of the weight out of the equation. So again, I'm starting in between my shoulder blades. This is the hips. I'm pushing the hips out, but also elevated. Hands in, tuck it in, and I'm going to roll. Still lifting those hips up. My foam roller's too straight on, so I'm going to change the angle slightly. I'm going to go again. Here we go. Now I'm deeper into the neck. Tuck your chin in. Lift the hips. My hips are facing out this way. And relax. If you need to get deeper into the neck muscles, spiky ball is quite often the way to go. And all we do, we replace the foam roller with a spiky ball, but you can also use two together. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First part is just the spiky ball. So I'm lying down, place the spiky ball underneath my traps, and I've got that L-shaped hand, and I'm rolling, I'm moving my upper body by flexing the hips into different positions. The spiky ball is a lot firmer. Again, if it's a golf ball, a tennis ball, a hockey ball, all will work the same, but it'll be a lot more pressure into the back. 9 times out of 10, it's quite hard to use those, but when you combine it with a foam roller, it becomes a lot easier. So what we're going to do, the foam roller is going to go underneath the lower back. Now we put the spiky ball under the neck. Now we've taken a lot of the weight out of the equation, and I can roll on the spiky ball. So again, lower back, spiky ball underneath, hand in L shape. Now I can roll it underneath the shoulder blade. If I find a knot in the shoulder blade, I can move left and right. I can then manipulate. This can all be done against the wall as well. I can rotate the rotator cuff, which is a really good one. So if I go right under the shoulder blade, here, and now I use the rotator cuff, and I can feel that moving over the spiky ball. But most of my weight is through my hips and onto that foam roller. It's worth having a play about to find the best position for you. Again, if it's too hard, go against the wall. Start against the wall. That's always the best option if you've got bits that are too tight. I'm going to show you about muscular manipulation and skeletal manipulation now as well. So, again, using a foam roller, we're going to work through the thoracic spine and we're going to work through the lumbar spine, the lower spine. So I'm going to show you the lower first. So a lot of you, if you were in the other week, we did a nice little stretch. You tuck your knees in, pump, and then you come across the body to stretch out the lower back. Well, we can enhance this stretch. So what I'm doing, I'm working on leverage. So place the foam roller underneath the hip. My leg goes out straight, this leg comes over. If we're straighter, we're going to get more leverage. So I'm now hands flat, and I'm going to pull across the body. So my hip is elevated underneath the foam roller. If I look the opposite direction, it will pull my opposite shoulder down. I've got more flex into the body. Lift the hip. Move the foam roller to the opposite glute, so you've got space, you don't roll off the foam roller. This leg, now straight. Second leg up, and I'm going to roll over. So as you can see, that foam roller now, helping me to manipulate the spine. Lower back, so lift it into the lower back. So the definition is just off your bum. Lift your feet, hold the foam roller in your hands, drop the hips. Let the heels touch down. You're now curving that lower spine. Knees in, lift, separate your legs, by around about a foot. Drop. You might hear or feel the hips pop. Roll your knees in, lift, straighten the legs, 2 feet apart now, drop. This also opens up the hips. Knees in, roll the knees in, straighten the legs, 3 feet apart now, and drop. Knees in, lift the hips, take the lower out. Lower back should feel a lot more opened up now. We're going to go into the thoracic. So some of this is about body awareness. So leave your bum on the ground this time. Find the bottom of your ribs. It's easy to do. That's the bottom of the ribs. You can feel it. There's a soft squidgy bit, and then there's not a soft squidgy bit. From there, hands up, breathe out, lean back. Come back in. Breathe out. Sneak forward and you'll feel another rib. Where the ribs are is where the vertebrae are. Breathe in, lean back. Breathe out as you go back, relax. Sneak forward, one more vertebrae. Breathe in, breathe out. And again, breathe in, breathe out. One more. You should be pretty much under the shoulder blades now. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathe in, breathe out. Each time you're looking further over the head, reach the hands as far back as you can. If you can touch the ground, well done. If you couldn't touch the ground, don't panic. We're going to work on that next. Now we can do the same, but we're going to roll. Come all the way up to the bottom of the ribs again. Lean back. Roll forward until you get to the shoulder blades. Now put the head on the ground. Roll back. Try and keep your bum on the ground. Head on the ground. Hands over. Back. Relax for a second. Get breath back if you need. Same again, use the weight of your arms to help you back. Lean back, head back. Deep breath in. Breathe out slowly. Back in. Relax. Last one to go. Hands up, hips up, underneath the shoulder blades. Roll either side. Come further up the back. So lower up the back, but further up the lower. To the side. To the side. Further up, another rib. To the side. To the side. Last one. Relax it down. This last part to go, we're going to manipulate this neck area by using some of the foam roller to help us do it. So this is the last bit to go. So lean the body weight down onto the foam roller, lift the shoulders, your arms unlocked, the biggest shoulder roll you can do. Now reverse, up. So using the weight through the edges of the foam roller. If your hands are flat or on the side, doesn't matter, it's the same principle. Now we're going to manipulate the head from side to side. So when we did that big shrug, that's where you want to get to. So all the way in, so shrug. All the way in, sink it in as far as you can go. Now left and right. Release out, all the way in, Now twist left and right. Release. Last part to go. We're going to do the same exercise but at speed, so we're going to add a little bit of force and momentum to it. So we're going to go as fast as we can. The point being, when your shoulders are shrugged, you're not going to move very far, okay? So we're going to do the left and right, again at speed, so that we can try and manipulate the skeletal frame out of position. So if there's any abnormalities, they're going to be in there. So from here, fast, fast, and that's you done. Same idea, roll back in, looking up, fast, fast, and back out. Now have a think, from when you started this session, we spent 20 minutes working through the body. How is your neck, shoulders, your back, your thoracic? How does that feel? How does your lower back feel after we've released it off? And this is the differences. You might not have known you were tight until you did these moves. Thank you for listening. Thank you for logging on. You can log on again. Any comments on the format will be there. If you want any questions answered, then by all means ask questions. See how you get on, and then we go from there. Next week I'm going to be going into stretches into the leg region and into the glutes. See you then.